And as you say, our underlying sales growth for Q1 was 7%, and we're really seeing that rebound and continuing momentum across the businesses as we hopefully emerge from the pandemic. Our assessment and qualifications business was up 22% last quarter. Our English language learning division up 18%, workforce up 9%, to give you just some of the headlines. But we see continued momentum as the world opens up across the way, and people engage in learning, upskilling and reskilling, both in an educational sense and also in the workforce.
Andy, something you brought to the business was the idea of a direct-to-consumer approach. Can you update us as to how that's working out?
It's going great. We're extremely pleased with the progress of Pearson Plus, and in fact, at our interims, we'll be updating the markets on the progress of Pearson Plus. But we're also extremely excited this morning to announce the acquisition of Mondly, one of the world's leading language learning platforms, direct-to-consumer platforms. Mondly's been downloaded cumulatively over 95 million times around the world. We have about 3.6 million active users, over 300,000 paid subscribers. And adding Mondly to our English language learning strategy is one of the final pieces of the jigsaw of the new Pearson, and we're very excited about the opportunity not only to address the 1.5 billion committed learners of English around the world, but how Mondly can fit into Pearson Plus, how it fits into our English language learner strategy, and also how it fits into our workforce strategy, because we're really focusing on the committed learner. And as we see the globalization of companies around the world, Mondly are excellent in terms of making your English language learning really meaningful. The other really exciting opportunity, of course, is how we sync Mondly into the Pearson test of English.
Yeah, I was on the other one for a while, but I got fed up with it trying to tell me how to say whale and shark, which is balena and squalo, by the way, in Italian. Andy, I'm very interested in your first exchange with Jeff, and I actually always wanted to jump in, but for once I wasn't allowed. But you were talking about when the world starts getting back to normal kind of thing. And I was thinking, actually, no, that's on its head. Because, for instance, in the Sedgwick household, we have a tutor for one of the kids on one subject. And we used to do that in person. Then we went online during lockdown. And we thought, well, we're not going back to in person. We don't need to. It's just as good. They can have just as good an exchange. So why does it matter to you in a post-COVID world, and we hope for a post-COVID world, we know it's still pretty prevalent around the globe, why does it matter to you if people stay online or go back to textbooks? It shouldn't do, should it?
In short, it really doesn't. We're sort of location agnostic, as it were. We're very much designed, and the direct-to-consumer strategy is very much designed to address that online hybrid world that we're living in, particularly in the world of learning, at workforce, as you say, tutoring with your children. And it's about serving learners wherever they want to learn. In our Pearson View business, our OnView, our online proctoring part of that business has seen strong growth alongside when we open up the physical test centres, also, footfall coming through those as well. So we want to be where the learners want to learn.
Can I be a pedant, Andy? In fact, I will be a pedant anyway, and you know I'm going to be. Your shares are up 26% year to date. It would be churlish of me to say that isn't a great performance, so well done on that. But if I look at your shares in the pre-Andy Bird period, going back to the last century, you're stuck in a range, your shares. I don't know, I'm going back to Dame Marjorie, and I'm really going a long way back. But your shares haven't got out of a tightish range for 20-odd years. Do you honestly think we're on the verge of a breakout?
Honestly, I do. I think we have spent the last 12 months really providing stability, providing the foundations of the 5 divisions, really transforming ourselves from an educational textbook publisher to really a digital media learning company, and really expanding the definition, as we all experience, of what learning means. What is the definition of higher education? I think we've talked about this before. You know, when you and I went to university, that was the only real form of higher education. Now, so many people are continuing their higher education in the workforce, and they're working as they earn. So I think we've positioned the company extremely well to both address the direct-to-consumer market, create lifelong learning relationships with consumers, as well as move away from being purely stuck within the sort of textbook publishing world.